Imagine you're doing your schoolwork or you're doodling or you're spacing out, and then suddenly the loudspeakers crackle on and they say that there's an active shooter on campus. And then moments later, you hear gunfire. Terrified out of your mind, you duck under your desk before your teachers can even tell you to move to the safe area. This is an experience I have not personally been involved with, and it deeply saddens me that there's many students who are scared to go back to school because of this experience. Although not all problems can be fixed with a swift stroke of a legislator's pen, I would hope that my proposition would reach the eyes and the ears of future lawmakers and help contribute to change. Last year, there was a student arrested at my high school for possession of a firearm while he was being searched for something unrelated. And this has made me concerned about going back to my own school, wondering if there's someone who really has their weapon with them and are just waiting for their attack. Within the last 30 years, the amount of school shootings skyrocketed, and NIH mentions crude death rates rose from 4.47 in 2017 to 5.88 in 2020. NIH also mentions that the shooting rate declined in 2020, which is obvious because no one was at school in 2020 for the most part. This problem is deeply unsettling. As someone who plans on becoming a mother, how can I plan to send my kids to a public school where I don't know if I'll ever see them again? I believe that there should be more school resource officers on campus at the minimum, or armed teachers, or a mixture of both. Right now, there's one school resource officer per every 1,000 students, and I believe this is way too low for the amount of students that one person has to protect. And there's been a steady incline in school shootings within the past few years, as mentioned before, and UConn states that the recent mass shooting attack at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas on May 24th, 2022, in which 19 students and 2 teachers were murdered. These high-profile cases have led to heated debates about gun control, gun rights, mental health, and privacy. The people who commit these shootings are somehow, you never hear about them getting death sentences or life sentences for their horrific crimes. One way now that schools are preventing school shootings is having higher security on campus, and one example of this would be having one-way entry points, where the situation at my high school, there's 2 entryways, but one of them is locked at all times and the other one is unlocked, and the unlocked door is usually connected to all of the other buildings on the campus, and the locked doors are usually the buildings, or like the outside part of the buildings that border the school. And as of late, police officers are stationed at campuses to respond to emergencies, and some districts have introduced armed security guards to add another layer of protection. Although schools are adding more school resource officers and added armed security, which will hopefully deter people from coming to schools and causing harm, I still believe this isn't enough. Classrooms have windows, and in those windows there are students and teachers. I believe the teacher should be armed as well. So that way if someone tries to forcibly enter the classroom, the teacher will be the first person there to protect her students and herself, or himself. Now, many will say that, what if there's a student who gets a hold of this weapon? Well, first of all, the teachers would have to be heavily trained and know exactly where to store their weapon and have a very secure way of keeping it stored so that way students with ill intent cannot get a hold of it. And then many will also mention, what if the teachers aren't mentally fit? Well, there could be a school resource officer or an armed security guard posted outside of the classroom so that way they can respond to the emergency as quickly as possible. Many of you have or are currently attending high school and share these fears as well, which is understandable, as school shootings will become insanely rare if there are more school resource officers, more armed security, and more armed teachers. So that way anyone who tries to commit this act will hopefully be deterred from doing so. If not implemented, the rate of the school shootings will likely increase even more in the next few years. If it is implemented, hopefully this would create a safe environment for the schools, and that would also deter these school shooters. think about it as a student and then as a mother or a potential mother or a potential father. Think about it as a student. Wouldn't you feel more safe at going to school every day if you had security? And think about it as a mother or a father or a potential mother or father. Wouldn't you feel more comfortable if your student, your child, went to school and you knew that they were safe? However, just saying that you want more security is not going to guarantee it. As citizens, we should be angry that in this day and age, we are not protected and students face this fear every single day they attend school. And just think about how much safer it would be if my plan would hopefully go through. It can be a challenge when implementing these solutions, as many people would be against it and protest against it, which you would be insane to protest against it if you want kids to be killed. So, although school violence is inevitable, putting in the perfect measures to help ensure school safety will hopefully create a better teaching environment. A quote from Shooting News Weekly states, "The founding fathers did not include the Second Amendment so we can skeet shooting. They enshrined it so the people would always have a check on government power." I want to put this in your mind the next time you think about going to school or dropping your children off. Please consider this solution and think about it and think of any other possibilities and solutions to fix this problem for good. My sources are NIH, NIJ, UConn, Journal of Adolescent Health, Shooting News Weekly, and Gun Violence Prevention. Thank you.